Thanks for joining Team AAC here in Southwest Florida again. This past weekend I had the very special opportunity to guide 3 gentlemen from out of town in what I thought was going to be your average run-of-the-mill nighttime hog hunt. It actually turned out to be something extra special. You see, John flew in from Rhode Island and Will flew in from Texas. They came all that way to surprise their buddy Q, who recently graduated from the police academy. See, this is his first job after leaving active duty in the U.S. Army as a sniper. So they wanted to be there on that special day when he got his badge and he got sworn in. Since they had a long weekend and they had a couple extra days to burn and relax, they called me up and said, hey, can we all come down and just hang out and go hog hunting? I was like, sure, come on down. So when they arrived, we went through the normal safety procedure. Here's the guns that we're using. Here's the optics we're going to use. Here's the tactics we're going to employ. I showed them a map. This is where we're going to go, and this is about what time we expect things to start popping and happening, and we loaded up in the truck and we left. And luckily, when we got out to the orange grove, things didn't pop and happen as quickly as possible. So we got to sit around and talk. And I noticed that one of them had limited mobility and use of his right arm, so I started asking some questions. Turns out that Q and John had deployed to Iraq in 2009 and 2010. And during that deployment, John was on a foot patrol with a couple members from his unit. And unfortunately, they were hit by a car bomb. That car bomb lifted and threw John 30 or 40 feet. He has shrapnel all over the right side of his body. He now has limited or no use of his right arm. And the worst part of the story was that I heard that 2 members from his unit were killed that day. So it was at that time that I realized the gravity of this moment, and I said to myself that I'm going to do whatever I can to make this one little day in history, this one night hunt, I'm going to make it extra special. And as you'll see here in the upcoming few minutes of this video, I think we did it and we accomplished that mission. So stay tuned, stay with us, and enjoy the rest of the video. Thanks. Here's the monster we're after tonight. He's been eating our corn for 2 or 3 weeks and we need to kill him. While patrolling the grove, Q spots what he swears is a hog out in a grassy field with the thermals. It's only a water pump. We use cellular game cameras to track pig movements. And lo and behold, a pig shows up at a feeder at 10:30. But he's 12 miles away, so we have to hurry up and get over there. As soon as we arrive, I get Q and John set up on the guns and pointed at the target. I get the sense that he knows that we're there since he keeps looking over in our direction. So I have a sense of urgency to hurry up and get this pig on the ground. You'll hear me say, "Are you ready?" You can hear a couple safeties click off, and very coordinated, they both happen to shoot at the same time. 3, 2, 1, bang. I only heard one shot. Very rarely do pigs go very far after being shot twice, but this guy was tougher than the usual pig. He went about 100 yards. He went into the swamp, wallowed around a little bit, and died right about where I thought he was. Just for good measure, we went back and we tracked him like we should, and we got up to the swamp, and there he laid. Dead. 1 bullet hole through the ribs and 1 bullet hole through the butt. Getting him out was quite a chore. We had to tie a rope around his neck, drag him 25 or 30 yards out of the swamp, but it was worth it. So we loaded him up, back of the pickup truck, and took him to the shop. Hung him up and weighed him. 216 pounds. Good sized pig. And as we started to butcher him, would you know it, another pig shows up at a different feeder about 8 miles away. So off we go. On this stalk, we were lucky enough to have the wind in the perfect direction. We snuck up to about 80 yards. They never knew we were there. We actually sat and watched them for about 2 or 3 minutes waiting for the perfect shot. And we waited. And we waited.
Here we go.
Once you use a thermal scope to hunt at night, you'll never want to do it any other way. You can see his tail wiggling around, swatting mosquitoes, happily with his head down and butt up, eating corn. What he doesn't know is he's about to get a healthy dose of about 400 grains of lead. Stand by.
Are you ready? Ready. 3, 2, 1, bang.
And like the first pig, we made good shots. We just didn't make great shots. So we looked for him for a minute. We saw him about 100 yards down one of the rows.
Right,
And we went back and got the truck.
Yeah.
I'd rather find him while safely seated in the front seat of a pickup truck than have him find us while we're walking down a row of trees. And just like I thought, when we found him, he wasn't completely dead yet. But a couple rounds of .45 ACP finished him off nicely. We took him back to the shop, and he weighed in at a nice plump 246 pounds. And then we started butchering. John, Will, Q, it was a pleasure hunting with you. You're welcome back anytime.